Hey there guys, welcome to the kind of the part 2 section of my collection update video, but now instead of Blu-rays we're going to deal with all the DVDs I picked up over the last month. And so let's get started here real quick. I got Indian in the Cupboard, and I remember seeing this back in like '95, and I remember my teacher reading the book to us in class, so I guess it has some kind of sentimental value there. But after watching it, it's still there, but it's slightly shameful to say. The kid puts toys in a cupboard, he makes them come to life. That sounds like a great premise to me, but the movie kind of, I don't know, it failed in a few aspects, but nevertheless, I seen it for $5, why not? Next up is a movie that's odd, it's bizarre, it's got the hot chick who was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Phoebe Gates, and it's Drop Dead Fred. I've been looking for this one for about 6 months now, and I remember we went to a pawn shop a long time ago, and I passed right over it, and my friend picked it up, and he laughed in my face, and I was really jealous. I thought about not giving him a ride home, but then I realized that he was the one who drove. This movie is out of print. This version right here, last time I checked on Amazon, it was going for about $25, so I mean, not bad for a $3 buy, right? Next up, it's Easy A. Anyway, Easy A, Emma Stone, kind of hot, has a slight lisp, but I don't mind that. But the thing is, she becomes a slut in school to get a lot of attention and to be popular, I guess. But yeah, back in high school when I went there, I don't know about you guys, but it wasn't cool to hang out with the sluts. I mean, yeah, I did privately. I mean, yeah, people did privately. But yeah, you couldn't do it publicly because, you know, the guys in the locker room would make fun of you and say you had herpes for hanging out with her too much or something like that. But then again, my school was weird, and we actually had a guy in our locker room that pooped in another guy's shoe. But that's a story for another time. I found this one at a pawn shop, and I had never seen it before. Well, I did see the first 10 minutes of it last night. And from what I've seen so far, it looks pretty good. It looks fun, and they're making a remake of it. And it's Fright Night. Classic cheese from the 80s. And, you know, just the image right there, that sells me on the movie, to be honest with you. So I need to finish this movie, and I know this is kind of like a cult classic for a lot of people, so I can see why they like it so far. Next up, speaking of cheese and Bette Midler, it's Hocus-Pocus. Next Halloween I'll talk about this in detail, but yeah, I remember seeing this with my dad and my sister back in '94. Is that when this came out? I'm taking a guess there. Let's check. You know what? Fuck it. Who cares? Yeah, it came out in '94. I think, and I remember just sitting in the theater with my family watching this, and we had a good time. It was fun. It had Sarah Jessica Parker in it, and you know what? She's slightly attractive in this movie. I know her face looks like a foot. But, you know, the small town, it's got the cat named Binks, Zachary Binks. Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, his name is Thackeray Binks. Thackeray, not Zachary. Isn't that odd? Does anyone know anyone with the name Thackeray? I don't know. Oh god. Next up, it's Hollow Man. And this movie, you know, I hadn't seen this in about 8 years, and I went back and watched it again, and Kevin Bacon, man, something about the guy, that man can play an asshole perfectly. And a rapist, too. And by the way, I mean, it has Elizabeth Shue in it. You know, that's my 1980s fascination there. Yeah, but anyway, Kevin Bacon, I mean, this whole movie is Kevin Bacon being a sick pervert the whole time, even before he goes into invisible mode. Next up, from the director of Boogie Nights, it's Magnolia. And I just recently bought this. It was like $5, and I'd never seen it before. Definitely not better than Boogie Nights, but okay movie. It has some great performances in it. It has a few flaws, but I don't have enough time to get into them. But the first 10 minutes of this movie were kind of my favorite, and any part with Tom Cruise in it. By the way, did I mention Tom Cruise was in this movie? Yeah, but he is. Tom Cruise stole this movie for me. I'm sorry to say, this was the best role I've ever seen Tom Cruise in his life. He basically plays this late-night infomercial kind of guy who teaches you how to pick up chicks, and he's such a douchebag, and I think that's why I like him. Hey there, guys! I'm a master of the muffin, and I'm going to teach you how to figure out the female analytical mindset. Are you tired of the all-too-familiar line, "Let's just be friends"? With my book, pleasantly priced at $19.99, I'm going to teach you how to seduce, pick up chicks, so you can get your dock wet. Yeah, that's kind of what he does in the movie, but I can't even get close to it, so definitely go watch that movie just for Tom Cruise, because it's hilarious. Next up, a movie I just recently watched, and, you know, I didn't think it was going to be great. It was directed by Bobcat Goldsmith, Smythe, Either one, it works. It's World's Greatest Dad, and this movie, I mean, it's phenomenal. I think if I was going to direct a low-budget movie, it'd almost be something like this, because the kid, I mean, all he does, he hates everything, and he jerks off a lot, and I'm not going to go into detail, but, I mean, it's got some shocking shit happening in it. Actually, I got this movie in a trade from Chris from The Aficionados. If you guys don't know who Chris is, he's a movie nerd, he's a movie nut. Anyway, his channel name is The Aficionados 2010. Link to that channel is down below in the description. Go check him out. Oh, and by the way, it shows Robin Williams' cock in it. So I don't know if that's a reason to check it out or not check it out, but it was really bizarre. It was at the end of the movie. Next up, a great movie. I've talked about this a long time ago in another collection update video, but I didn't own it yet, and I was borrowing it. And it's Old Boy. Just, what a badass movie. I mean, everything about this movie I love. It's a story. It's basically a story. It's a mystery, but really it's a vengeance movie. And the twist ending at this movie, and I've said it once and I'm going to say it again, it's one of the best twist endings on any movie I've ever seen, because it's worth the build-up. I mean, everything goes towards it and it all makes sense. But anyway, the guy's kept in a room for 15 years. He doesn't know why. He's let out. He's given 5 days to figure out why he was in that room for 15 years. And the story goes on from there. It's just, everything about it was brilliant. It's a Korean movie. And, you know, I'm going to recommend you guys don't watch the subtitles. Actually listen to the dubbed voices. The one guy sounds like Adam West. I swear to you, it sounds like Adam West is doing the voice for this guy. And if that's not enough to sell you, I don't know what is. I'm Adam West. And last but not least, it's the Jetsons movie. And, oh Jesus. Why did I buy this? No one knows. But, yeah, it's Judy Jetson. Maybe I just wanted to buy it to hear the theme music again. I'm not sure, but I always thought if they made this into a live-action movie, Danny DeVito was made for that. That role should have went to Danny DeVito, the boss of the George Jetson character. And, yeah, that's enough. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm John with the TheFLICKpick channel, and I'll see you next time. Pow, pow.